treating myself to a nice stress-free, calm day in which I will start with my latte and my donuts by the fire in the bedroom. So join me. I allow myself a day like this when I think I need it, and I need it today. Hello everybody. Welcome to Nanny and the Moose. I'm Nanny, and I'm having a me non-stress day. This video is a little different from the ones you've seen the last couple of weeks, because the last couple of weeks I've been really up and I've been bringing Christmas joy and cheer to you with house tours and decorating the tree and cooking, and I've gotten myself in a little over my head. So today I am baking homemade donuts, and I am making hot coffee and experimenting with some latte art, and I'm in my bedroom not doing anything today. I'm way behind in my wrapping, and I'm just going to sort of veg today and get myself revved up. Tomorrow will be fine. You know, the way to do this when you get down or you have a little bit of stress with you, I've said this before, and it said to take a time out. Just forget about everything, and either you go outside and you scream, or you go into your bed and you just relax with a nice glass of wine or a cup of coffee. So I've chosen to have my donuts here, which I made a little while ago, and by the fireside I will eat a donut. And by the way, I use Splenda instead of sugar to coat them, so I'm okay. And I have my cup of hot cocoa as my comfort foods for today. I'm going to make donuts from these grand Southern home-style biscuits. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to make cocoa. I have some cocoa in here, some special blend, and I'm going to use my latte art stencils with some cinnamon. I'm also going to froth some milk in here with my immersion blender. So let's get started. What's better than homemade donuts, semi-homemade donuts, to soothe the soul, and hot cocoa with frothed milk on top and maybe a little design. So I have the oil in a frying pan, maybe an inch thick, and I'm ready to put these donuts in. As you can see, I've used top of a water bottle to make the hole in the middle. If you can hear the oil, it is bubbling away. And then we'll talk about the cocoa and the frother in a minute. I'm cooking up. I just flipped them over, and I'd say 3 minutes, maybe 4. You wait till you see a little browning. Now as the oil keeps getting hotter, it takes less time. Now when they come out, the first thing you'll do is put them on a paper towel on a plate to drain the oil. Now I've filled this plastic baggie with a little bit of sugar. I've used Splenda because I don't want to push it too far. And I'm now going to work quickly and put some of the donuts in the bag while they're still hot and shake. Ooh, looks good. I'll show you these in a minute. Now my Moosey is still sleeping, so I don't know whether to go ahead with the cocoa and proceed making that for the video, or wait until he gets up. He'll probably just like his black coffee anyway, but I need the comfort of some cocoa with some latte art, maybe a heart to warm my heart. Now let me explain latte art for those of you who are not familiar with it. Experts don't need stencils or things. What they do after they get their milk all nice and hot, and they usually use these lovely espresso machines, And it's all frothed on the machine. We're going to do it with a blender today, actually my immersion blender, but I have bought some frothers for Christmas presents, as you know. Now, the latte experts do their designs on top of the coffee or cocoa with just this, and they know exactly how to maneuver the pitcher to make those beautiful hearts with the splits or the Scandinavian designs, the stars. I don't think I'll have that luxury because I'm a learner. I've not done this before, but I do have the tool too, which is the steel, it's like a big long needle with a point, sharp point. And after you get your frothy milk on there, you might use this tool to drag the design out a little bit. Now, the other way of doing it is to use stencils, which I'll show you in a minute. I left them in the other room. And what you do with the stencils is you hold them on top of a coffee cup on top of your coffee or cocoa, and you would put your whipped cream or whatever you want to put in first, and you would smooth it out, and you'd put the stencil on top, and it has to be pretty close to the coffee cup, so hopefully it would fit. If not, you hold it there. And then what you do is you take some cinnamon or some dark cocoa or not melted chocolate, but definitely smooth. You might sift it first. And then you shake it into the stencil, whatever it might be, a Christmas tree, a heart, might be Halloween art or whatever, and you have a cute design. I have just frothed the milk. I still think it needs a little more frothing. I've been using my immersion blender tool. You have to be careful that it doesn't go all over the place. Probably one of those battery operated frothers might work better. I've also mixed my cocoa, and I put some milk in with my cocoa. Moosey is having his black coffee with his donuts. He's waking up right now. So I have my cocoa in there, and I'm going to first try the hot frothed milk and see how that works. Now, these stencils, I'll put them against my black sweater. These are little paws of a doggy or kitty. Looks like a Christmas tree. There's, I think, 26 or more in my little package. I quickly have to move so that the milk does not get cool. And I think I'm gonna put it back here on the stove, putting it back on the stove to give it a little more time. I wish I could show you more of these because they're fun. I think I need a happy face to keep me going today, right? While I'm standing here waiting for my milk to get hotter, I have some light bulb Christmas earrings that Colleen gave me last year. Oh, you don't do that. My milk just bubbled up and over, so it might be too hot. So I think I'll wait a minute. But these are my light bulb earrings. This is my jade ring and my cloisonne bracelet in green. So we're in green, and the sweater, which I absolutely love, and I'm gonna go down and show you this sweater more. Oh, this is the little crocheted wreath that my mother made years ago, and we all had them. She made some of these, so I like to wear this. Now, this is a great sweater. I found this at Walmart, but when I went to pay for it, the woman said, well, I don't think this is a Walmart product. I can't find it. So she sold it to me, put a $25 tag on it. I will give you the information, but I love it because of the ruffles, the full sleeves. I'm just thrilled with it. I'm gonna pour it in this little pitcher, which is what the experts use, the real baristas. Now it looks pretty good. It is frothed and it is thicker, which is what you want. You see, as you drip it out, what they tell you to do is to get rid of the bubbles. So you just tap it a few times. Once again, this is an experiment with me. And I have my cocoa ready to go here. The pitcher, kind of near it, tip this, and they pour it there we go. Now they take their tool, and guess what? I left it in the other room. Going to show you what they do. They take the little tool, I'm using a knife because I was silly enough to leave it, and they pull it out. Here I have my little design. It's not too bad. I should drink it while it's hot, but I'm going to show you one more way to do this. Beautiful flower. If I had some red, you could use red sprinkles and make a beautiful poinsettia flower. That would be nice. There's all these designs, aren't they cute? So what you would do is you would hold your stencil over the coffee pot with 2 hands, and I might have to do it on the tripod. Okay, what you should try and do is smooth it out maybe with the back of a spoon. So here it is. I don't know whether you can see it or not. I did use the cinnamon, and I did use the 3 kings, the crown for the wise men. It came out okay, but it would have been better with a smoother top. I think that your children would enjoy doing this, playing around with the stencils on their own, or you could do it with them and have a lot of fun. So I'm going to serve Moosey his donuts and coffee, and I'm going to have my cocoa now, and I'm going to have my donuts. I'm going to have my me time in the bedroom. I'm going to light a fire, and we're going to chat some more about allowing yourself to have a me day, time out when you're stressed out. I haven't had cocoa in ages. It's yummy. For the different kinds of tastes of cocoa, you could add a little bit of chili powder or cayenne pepper or perhaps paprika to this and get a Mexican style cocoa, which I would like, but I couldn't find my cayenne pepper right off the bat to be able to do this. So semi-homemade donuts and hot cocoa. What could be better on a cold me day? Lucy just came up with a great idea for that one donut that I didn't make the hole in the middle. We both decided maybe we could stuff it with a little bit of raspberry jam, and I'm going to do that now. Let's see if it works. So here's the donut. Now if I had the time, I would make a, let's see, I don't want to open it up. I could open it, I guess. I'm going to try and press some jam into this hole that I made. Let's see how that turns out. You have a jelly donut. So let's see if he likes that. I'll bring it into him. All sorts of things you can do when you're saving time. But I did experiment with some latte art, and my cocoa is delicious. My fire looks pretty good. It's feeling toasty. You know, we've had a lot of rain recently, and some of the things that kind of put me over the top were 1 or 2 little tiny leaks where our adobe cottage is 90 years old, and obviously there's a few little hitches here and there that really don't bother us at all, as long as we know how to take care of them. And I took care of the little drip. I did lose one of my little oriental rugs in the process. It got a little too drenched and ripped. But it's been cold. And as you know, I did quite a bit of shopping, Christmas shopping for all our family. We have a very large family, 20 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren, a new one on the way in probably another week or 2. And I did do a lot of shopping. I've showed you a lot of my gift ideas. And I have, which I will show you, in my bedroom over there. A pile of things to be wrapped and packaged and labeled and in the car ready to take on Christmas Eve morning to our family get together and the gifts deal. Plus I have to take that great big espresso machine because that's my entry in the gift steal. And I have to find one other thing. The kids prefer things that we've had a long time. One year I put just a simple little orange juice pitcher in the gift steal, which was a wedding present 62, almost 63 years ago now. And they fought over that like crazy. It by far was not the nicest gift in the whole setup, but it meant something to them, and that made me feel good. But getting back to this timeout business, I'm going to take a bite of my donut. In fact, I'm going to pop one of the little ones in my mouth for a minute. They're not like a donut you would buy in the shop, but they're a little more dense. But the cinnamon sugar on the outside and the crispiness of the outside of the donut, the inside is a bit heavy, but it tastes good. I didn't have to run out to the donut shop. Let me bring you up to date with my amaryllis. Finally, I have the beginnings of, I think, 2 flowers. Let me tell you what happened. It was doing nothing. And a week ago, I put this underneath a lamp next to a warm light bulb, and it sat there for a week, doing nothing, no appearance of any red. Finally, this morning, it budded, and I think I might have 2 flowers here. So I'd like to know how your amaryllis or paper whites are coming along. This, I think, might give us some flowers for Christmas. Let me tell you some of the fun things that we've done in the past years leading up to Christmas. There's always so many parties, and a lot of you probably remember that too. There's parties with the children, and early on when all the 6 children were living at home, we had several traditions. We would always go into a large restaurant in Los Angeles called El Cholo, and they had a choir group from Claremont College come and sing while you were having brunch. And the children still remember that. The choir was wonderful. I don't know whether they still do that. The other thing we did was we took all the children, and this, by the time we were having grandchildren by now, and the whole family would go down to the Crystal Cathedral down in Orange County, and they had the living nativity show where you would sit in this huge cathedral, many, many people there, and the animals, live animals, would parade in. And there would be elephants and giraffes and camels and right down to the small animals, and live movable people on the center stage. It was absolutely wonderful. We did so many other things. We went to see the Nutcracker Suite Ballet with all the children and grandchildren, and I have wonderful memories of all that. Now, in our later years, we're not doing a lot of that. Some of our grandchildren are taking over some of those things, and we have, past couple of years before COVID, participated in some of those things, like the Nutcracker Ballet and a few other things. But our life is not filled with all of those activities anymore. It's quite simple, and I hope you enjoyed. I know that all of you regular, wonderful people did enjoy the drive-through of the house tour, and you enjoyed seeing all my Christmas sweaters. However, I noticed that not that many viewers tuned in as you would to other videos. I know probably everyone is busy and you're not watching, but I did expect that some of those would bring in a lot of extra people, because we were doing things that we had hoped would bring joy to you, especially those of you who weren't getting out. And it did, believe me. I read all the comments. I appreciate them so much. But I think due to a few of the things that have been happening around here and the fact that I am behind in my wrapping, I knew that I needed a day off. And this is how I've chosen to spend it. By making donuts, enjoying them. By the way, Moosey has already had his coffee and donuts and enjoyed them. He even had that one donut that I made without the hole. He had a jelly donut. I squeezed some raspberry jam in there. I think I'm also going to sit down and start listing. When I start listing who gets what and how I'm going to wrap it, I have resorted to bags, pretty bags, and a lot of tissue paper. I think I might go out in the afternoon and make a visit to Big Lots or one of the Dollar Tree stores and pick up some more wrapping. Moosey needs some Scotch tape. So that's how I'm going to spend my day. I'm so proud of myself and my lovely fire here. Isn't this doing beautifully? This is our rock fireplace in the bedroom, and it's so cozy. This adobe cottage has so much charm to it, and the little things that happen too. I know some of you have mentioned that your spirits have been down, and that by watching our video has brought spirits up, and that makes me feel so good. But I have to tell you that when my spirits get down, I feel I am in control of my own emotions. Just as today, I am allowing myself to have this concentrate on me day, to just take a time out. And I know when I need it. But I also know that tomorrow I will be fine again and in full swing, wrapping everything and doing everything else that has to be done around the cottage. So why don't you try that method? Remember that you are in control of your emotions and your joy or your depressions. Do what you think you have to do to keep yourself up. It could be simple little things. My mother loved the holidays, and I do get my overdoing Christmas from my mother. She did make Christmas wonderful for everyone. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed this video. It's a nice, quiet video, not too much going on, but we did have fun making that latte cocoa and also making some donuts the easy way. Now, I did make them from scratch years and years ago with my mother, and I still have that recipe. In fact, I did it years ago with the children, but that messes up the kitchen, which I'm not going into today. That's on my no-no list for today. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you for your thumbs up. And those of you who have not subscribed, I sure would love it if you decided to join us on this little journey of aging. There are some blips along the way, but most of all, you have to realize that not that many people are blessed to be given this opportunity of living as long as we have lived. So feel blessed, feel gratitude and appreciation, and that way you'll enjoy these years immensely. Bye for now. God bless us all.